Hey guys, welcome back to another video on the Inside Spurs channel. Happy Friday afternoon. Hope you're well. Hope you're having a good day and you're looking forward to a solid weekend. There's obviously football on this weekend, so I can't say I hope you're looking forward to the Spurs game. But obviously we do have the internationals, England, Brazil, I think it is, as you can tell. So keen to watch that. I really don't like this international break one because it just really interrupts the last end of the season, and this is the exciting part of the season. It just feels like it's ruining it a little bit. But anyway, we're going to be talking a little bit around Pedro Porro. He's been talking about potentially leaving Spurs in the future, as well as Real Madrid being interested in Pedro Porro. So we're talking a little bit about both of those things, talk about his quotes and all that sort of thing. And as well as that, we're going to be talking a little bit around Johan Bakayoko and the clubs that are sort of circling him and why I think Spurs were probably going to be out of that race. So plenty to talk about, plenty to get into though. And if you are new, give us a subscribe. You're very much welcome to join us. And let's talk Pedro Porro. So let me talk about his quotes first. So, excuse me, this is directly from the horse's mouth, Pedro Porro's mouth. He's not a horse, but it's a saying. And it's come from Sport Witness. It said that Pedro Porro much happier now at Tottenham, but La Liga return likely to happen eventually. So going into the actual article itself, he was talking about things like criticisms when he first joined Spurs. And I think criticising him for his performances when he first joined Spurs was laughable. If you were one of those people, laugh at yourself, because it's not because like he's gotten good all of a sudden. He is going to a new country. He's going into a really toxic atmosphere. You know, the Conte situation, losing a coach to death. Conte's missing time through obviously having surgeries. Then becoming a player under Stellini and then Mason. He didn't exactly have a fair chance, let's be honest. So, that's why you should always give a player a little bit of breathing room when they first join. Things like that show. And then when you give him a bit of love and consistency, things like this show in this season. So he said, obviously nobody likes criticism in this world, but you're exposed to good and bad things being said about you. At the end of the day, you don't care as long as you are confident in yourself. I knew that I was going to get a lot of criticism and that was going to be hard at first. Not everyone is perfect and goes and fits in the first time. Now I've been working really hard to turn that criticism into praise, and now I'm feeling more affection. He talked about the situation under Postecoglou and goes on to say, it's different from when I arrived. Now I feel more important in the team. I feel much more confident that at the end of the day also makes you better. I'm feeling much better, and more as the games go by, I'm more used to playing in the Premier League, and I think that's important. So really interesting quotes there. I think it's fair to say that, when a player does come from abroad, they don't speak the language. I think that's a really key thing. They don't speak the language, therefore they're not as confident in themselves. Now, I think what's helped Pedro is the fact that he does play alongside Christian Romero. So, that language barrier that you might have with an Eric Dyer, well, that's not fair. Eric Dyer speaks fluent Spanish. Who could I think? Ben Davies, there we go. I was thinking Clement Longley can speak Spanish. I'm thinking Davinson Sanchez. I was thinking Japhet Tenganga would have been another one I could have gone for, But the thing is with that is, sometimes the nice thing for Romero and Porro probably have is they can speak in the Spanish language, and it easily makes them be able to take on board information and work with that information instead of going, I need to think of what that is in English and so on and so forth. So now he's sort of developed and now settled. We're seeing a true Pedro Porro, and he was fantastic at Lisbon. He came in, showed some flashes last season, but obviously last season was a bit of a crapshoot. Now we're seeing Pedro Porro again, so this is really, really good. He did talk about. He goes on to speak further. Obviously, this is a guy who played in La Liga before he went to Lisbon. He's played for Man City. Well, he joined Man City, didn't play for Man City. But he said, in football, you never know. Today you're playing there and tomorrow you can be playing somewhere else. Being Spanish, of course, I would like to come back and enjoy La Liga. When I played here in the Premier, I enjoyed it very much and hope one day to return, of course. So going on to how this all maybe connects a little bit more, Ekram Knorr put out that Tottenham's Spanish right-back Pedro Porro on Real Madrid's transfer list. Tottenham can list an offer over €55 million. So we'll call that £50 million, and that is hogwash. If we spent €45 million on the guy, we're not going to then go, He's only improved this much, so we'll listen to 50. No, it's 45 million. You're going to have to go way above that. The guy is under a long-term contract. He's playing some of the best football of his career. Statistically, one of the best right-backs in the Premier League alongside Trent and Trippier. I think they're the two. He's been brilliant. And honestly, for our system, I wouldn't trade him with any other right-back in the league. I'm not saying that he's better than Trent or Trips. I'm just saying in our system, he suits us better than those two do. If we were to sell a Pedro Porro, the number I would say probably has to start with at least an 8. Genuinely. So yeah, he's not gonna go to Real Madrid for that kind of money, and Real Madrid don't have that money to spend when they're signing Mbappe this summer. So yeah, a little bit of that. Let's talk Bakayoko really quickly though, and it came from Sky Sports Deutschland, Germany. Sky Sports. Look at this guy, multicultural. PSG are interested in Johan Bakayoko, who could leave PSV for 50 to 60 million euros. Dortmund, Man City, Chelsea and Liverpool are also on his track. Look, I really like Johan Bakayoko. I do really like him. I think he's probably on the winger list of who we like. So, we like Pedro Neto. We like Eberiche Eze. You could probably put Werner on that list, to be fair, I guess because he's a potential purchase in the summer. He's not obviously our player, truly. Nusa, Rooney Bargi, Matthias Sully. God, there's one... Nico Williams from Atletico Bilbao. I said it right this time. I know some of you have been saying it. Inaki Williams is his brother. He plays for Ghana. Nico Williams is the Spanish... Well, they're both, but he plays for Spain. He's the winger. So look, we're not spending that money on him. I think if you're sitting there going, he's going to cost, let's say, £50 million, I think Spurs are going to go, well, for 10 more million, we'll go get Eberiche Eze, who we know is going to work in the Prem. Yeah, I don't see that. It's a shame because I really like him, but I think if you were going to get him, it was going to be last summer for about 35. His market is only increased in terms of who wants him, but also the value. So, a bit of a shame, but these things can happen in football, Doesn't mean he will work out, doesn't mean anything like that, but sometimes you miss out on something, but sometimes something better comes along. So we shall see. But anyway, guys, at the end of the video, hope you enjoyed. Drop a like on the video if you did. Hit me in the comment section your thoughts and feelings about Pedro Porro, the Real Madrid interest, his quotes, as well as Johan Bakayoko and his interests. Obviously, subscribe to the channel if you're new and hit the bell notification for more. But anyway, guys, at the end of the video, I'll see you all very, very soon. Take care, guys.